Hi, everyone. I'm Dr. Fred Luskin, director of the Stanford University Forgiveness Projects. And I'm happy and honored to join you in the forgiveness campaign, the Uno Perdona, led by Andrea Bicciata at the University of Sinu. I'm happy to be a speaker about forgiveness and the work that we have done in that domain. And I wanted to talk for a few minutes just about what we do and how we see forgiveness and why we believe it's so helpful. I started the Forgiveness Project quite a long time ago, almost 25 years ago, because I couldn't forgive. And I was desperately hurt and didn't know what to do and was pretty lost. And I suffered pretty badly. That suffering, though, allows me both to understand the suffering that other people go through, but also now to understand how people create some of their own suffering when they're hurt. I had a best friend who abandoned me. Other people have people lie to them or cheat or are disloyal or break things or all sorts of terrible things. And this person did not treat me well, and I reacted very, very poorly to it. But over the years, I've come to stand a little more about what that process is and what the process is of both creating a grudge and becoming forgiving. And took me a while, and I had to suffer. And I came to understand that there were a couple of very crucial components to my healing and now to other people's healing. The first component that I came up with was simply enough gratitude that, life sometimes throws you curves and sometimes life sucks. And you also got to pay attention to what's good. And this is sometimes easier than it sounds. I when I was badly hurt, I had a little child, and I didn't appreciate that child enough. I didn't appreciate my partner enough because I was so caught up in being hurt and wounded. And I saw after a while, of course, after a good while of suffering, that life may give me painful things, but it also gives me a lot of beauty and it gives me a lot of positive. And I'm the one who can determine the kind of the ratio between good and pain that I see. Second, there's a kind of thing where you recognize you're not the center of the universe, that everything doesn't revolve around you. It's not just about you, that often people who hurt us, they don't care. I mean, they're not doing it to hurt us. They're doing it because they're self-absorbed or they're unconscious or they don't know. But I also saw something else in there that besides this kind of, it's all about me. We think that we somehow deserve everything we want, that we should get everything that we think is ours. With my friend, I thought he kind of owed me being a friend for life, and he had other plans. We refer to that as forgiveness now is making peace with the word no. No being you can't get what you want, and forgiveness being learning to be at peace with that, learning to accept what happened, what can't change, where it didn't go the way you wanted. And so when you put those two together, one, I do have a lot of things to be thankful for, and I can't always get what I want. And that forgiveness is this positive process of making peace, of learning to get no to what we want and what we think we were, supposed to have. Learning to deal with that makes us more resilient, and it turns out healthier. So I had this idea that I'm the center of my friend's universe, which I wasn't, and that he had to be my friend. Like that was the yes that I wanted. And I wanted it a lot. I mean, I'm not kidding you. I was miserable for a while. Um, but then somehow I realized that, wait, I'm not the center of his world, that he obviously had other things that mattered more to him. And I took that after a while as a sign of my growth, that people aren't just here for me and they do stuff to preserve themselves and not necessarily to serve me. And that's the way it is because I do the same. But the other piece I saw was like I had this idea of how life was supposed to be. Like he's going to be my friend. That's what I wanted. That's the yes I wanted. He said, no, I'm not giving you that. I couldn't make peace with that. No, I kept on arguing, but I deserve a yes. Wait, you owe me yes. Yes is mine. I own yes. It's not up to you. I saw that forgiveness is making peace with the word no, making peace even though you didn't get what you want. And I started to recognize that it wasn't just the things that happened which said no, but that I had thoughts in my head that said, I have to get yes. And I recognized that it was those thoughts of you have to get yes. He owes you yes. The world owes you yes. This is what's right is yes. Those thoughts were driving me crazy. Like he had moved on. And at some level, I had moved on. What had gotten in the way was my thoughts saying, it's not okay. I have to get yes to what I want. And then now, as I've studied forgiveness and many people have studied forgiveness, we've come to understand that there's an enormous amount of stress that is put on the body when you keep on saying that what I wanted should have happened. I should have gotten yes, that reality is wrong, that people are wrong, that all this stuff is wrong. What matters is my getting yes. What matters is me getting what I wanted. Boy, did that stress the heck out of me, those thoughts. And I see how they stress the heck out of everybody else. The thought of constantly saying that the way things happened is wrong and the way that I wanted them happen is right. And I'm going to sit here like a little kid and hold a hissy fit because I deserved yes, even though somehow the world wanted to give me wrong. That stress can be very, very dangerous to mental and physical health. So we teach people to forgive. We teach them to be more appreciative of what they have, to recognize that they can be happy even though there was some no's in their life, to recognize that you don't get everything you want, that yes isn't the answer to everything, that learning to adapt is just as good a skill as getting what you wanted. And we remind people that generally speaking, you're not the center of the world, that there's a whole big world out there doing its thing, and you're just a piece of it. We also tell people, and this is the other simple piece, is don't speak like a victim so much. Take more power in your words, take more power in your resilience and healing. So we have created a simple methodology for teaching people to forgive. I mean, I've given you the like 10-minute version, but it works, and it's worked in places all over the world. And I know this is an intro for me to give a longer talk to your university, and I'm happy to do that. But the best definition I've seen is one, and I'm going to stop with this. It was a bumper sticker created by a woman whose child was murdered, and which is about as horrible as it gets. Her child was murdered. She had a little bumper sticker that she created a few years later on the back of her car, which said, "Forgiveness is giving up all hope for a better past." Forgiveness is giving up all hope for a better past Forgiveness means that you finally stop insisting on yes when you got no, that you lay that down and you make peace with the life that you actually had.